Where do you want to begin, guys? Where do you want to begin? I don't know. Do you want to begin with the 40-40 tie that happened Sunday night? Between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what to make of this game between these two. This should not have been a 40-40 tie. I was expecting, and what was starting to look that way before I fell unconscious, and went to sleep, and I woke up before the end of the game, which is the truth, and I'm sitting here completely confused. Like, why do the Cowboys have the worst defense in the NFL and yet the number one offense? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. And then we still allowed 40 points. Yeah, the Packers had to tie it at the very end, but at the same time, it should not have gotten to this point. A 40-40 tie. You gotta be kidding me, bro. You literally have to be kidding me at this point. It's not just the Cowboys have the worst defense in the NFL. It's that they have the worst defense while a lot of other teams kind of stink right now. Like the Bengals, terrible. Jets, still terrible. The Dolphins, they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. He's done for the year. Broken leg. Broke like multiple ligaments, multiple, CL tears and everything like that. What else? The Eagles, what can you say about the Eagles that has been said already? Like they snatched, victory. They snatched defeat. They snatched defeat. They snatched the fact that they were going to get beat away, and they got the victory against the Bucs. But hey, at least Jackson Dart won. He won a game. It was against the Chargers, though, which I did not expect that. But hey, the Chargers were bound to lose at some point. Do I even care about teams like the Cardinals? Not particularly. At least the 49ers have an excuse. They're injured the hell and back, Like, at least Adonai Mitchell, dropped a pass that should have, gotten the Colts to win. But yeah. And of course, the Colts also made some stupid mistakes in that game against the Rams. But it is what it is with that. So basically, what is Week 5 going to tell us that hasn't been told already? What is Week 5 in the NFL going to tell us what has been told already? Like we knew Minnesota, without J.J. McCarthy, actually, developing wasn't going to do too much. And they still lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, We knew that Minnesota's staying overseas for another week playing a game against Cleveland, which nobody is going to watch because the Cleveland Browns stink. I mean, come on. They lost to the Lions, like, big time. Like, the Bills beat the Saints. Like, come on. We know that was happening. We knew that was happening. We knew that. The Jets, again, we already went over this. They stink. Texans, okay, you finally got a win, but I mean, it was against the Titans. Come on. The Jags are 3-1. The Colts are 3-1. It's looking a lot better for teams, in the AFC South now. Houston doesn't look too good because that offensive line is terrible for Houston. Just awful. And the thing is that we're only 4 weeks into the season and things have gotten rough already. There have been so many leg and ACL injuries that just, like, this is getting out of control at this point. Like, Tyreek Hill is just another example of what the season's been like. And you know, there's only 2 unbeatens left, the Bills and the Eagles. And I don't know when they're going to lose because, I mean, come on. I mean, you look at things, you look at how things have been. It's been a weird season. Like, did you expect the Falcons to beat the Commanders? When is Jay Daniels going to come back? When is he going to come back? The Commanders need him. They really do. You know, at least teams like the Seahawks 3-1. Seahawks are fun. You know, maybe the Cardinals aren't fun to watch, and that's why I didn't really, you know, look at that game. I probably should have looked at the highlights though. I'll probably look at the highlights again later. But you know, like the Ravens defense, awful. They lost another guy to injury. They lost a lot of people to injury. But you see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? So many injuries in the NFL that are impacting these teams, and you know, people are still clamoring. Well, you know, we could have expansion. You really want 20 extra starting offensive linemen that don't know what they're doing out there. There are some teams that have some legitimately bad offensive line play. You know, it's not going to be resolved if you contract or if you expand. Like, it's just not going to be resolved. Like, the bottom teams are still going to be the bottom teams. You know, when it comes to blocking and getting those assignments right and plugging up those A and B gaps. You know, it's like I don't get it. Like, this week was weird in the NFL yet again. The NFL just stays weird. You know, like did you expect the Chiefs to finally gain some offense? Yeah, Xavier Worthy is back in the lineup, but still, they were able to do something. I mean, Chiefs haven't been able to do anything all season. You know, and they finally put up over 30 points for the first time in like 2 years. It's been like 2 years since they put up that type of numbers. Doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And now, again, this week, again, we have another NFC West matchup to start the week, you know, on Thursday night, 49ers Rams. You know, yeah, Brock Purdy, you know, didn't look the greatest in that game, but you know, he got what he needed done. You know, it's like Christian McCaffrey is really the only guy that's really doing anything, but you know, like I don't know. This 49ers team, you know, has been, you know, on my hit list pretty much all season long. The Rams, you know, finally got a good victory, you know, with Devontae Adams, you know, getting that touchdown late, everything like that. And Tutu Atwell also getting a huge touchdown late, you know, too. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Again, Vikings-Browns is going to be another game in London. I think this one's in London. Just not a good early slate at all. Like, the Giants should be able to beat the Saints because the Saints are terrible. The Raiders stink. You know, Cowboys are facing a winless Jets. At least don't let the winless Jets beat you guys. Don't let the winless Jets do this to you. You're on the road. You're in New Jersey. You're playing the Jets. Don't let this happen. The Dolphins are playing the Panthers. If that doesn't scream, please, God, help me. Please, dear Lord, help me. The Broncos have said we have an offense, guys. Does that mean anything against one of the best defenses in the NFL? No, it does not. Like the Texans-Ravens, that game was supposed to be a good game. Both these teams are 1-3. It stinks. The Titans and the Cardinals stinks matchup. Bengals, no Joe Burrow. You basically flexed out of being the main game. You know, nobody's gonna watch that game now. But the Lions are going to put up 100 points. Like the meme of the Lions put up 100 points may come to fruition because the Bengals have a bad defense. The Bengals have no offense. And literally the two best games, you know, again, the Commanders, we don't know if, you know, it seems like he will return. So Jayden Daniels will return to the Commanders for week 5, you know, against the Chargers. He will return. But like Bucs Seahawks, definitely going to be one of the better games of that late slate. Beautiful uniform matchup. The old Seahawks unis and the old Bucs creamsicle unis. It's going to be beautiful. One of the best matchups of the late slate. You know, Patriots Bills is interesting. Like Drake May, can he knock off the Bills? And then Chiefs Jags on Monday night. You know, Trevor Lawrence and company have actually looked pretty good. Can that help them beat the Chiefs though? I have no idea. You know, it could be a possibility. It may happen, but you never know. We'll find out when we find out, huh? We will find out when we find out. And I don't know if we're gonna find out until Monday. We're not gonna find out until Monday. So yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that week 4 of the NFL season, I don't know what that was. I think my anger, kind of dissipated after the 40-40 tie because I did not watch the Monday night games. I thought those games were going to be bad, and they were bad. So another crazy Sunday is on tap. I guarantee you, at least in a few games. Most of these games, I am just like looking past it because there's just been so much bad play in the NFL this year. So much. Like, I think the defenses are definitely getting, worse. But I mean, the offenses are so bad in some cases. It's like it doesn't even warrant, saying that the defenses got better because it's not true. It's not true. The defenses have not gotten better. Y'all, there are some offenses that are putrid out here, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know at this point. Like, I don't want to see another 40-40 tie again in my life. I don't want to see another Cowboys tie in my life, But that's exactly what we got with one of the worst defenses in the NFL. It's crazy how you have the worst defense in the NFL, and there are teams still even worse than you are. That's basically my takeaway from this week. I don't get it anymore. But on to week 5. It'll be a beautiful slate, especially late. For as far as primetime games are concerned, there are some pretty good primetime games this week in the NFL. So I'm going to get on about y'all's hair, and I'll see you soon with more content.